3 shots, 9 pitches before
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's. I don't think there's any question that there were some frustrating times, but you know, but it is what it is. You sit there and you know you hit a ball in the screws and catch it. You let it mentally defeat you, then you're done for the rest of the game. So, you know, it's frustrating for a few minutes, and then you try to get over it and worry about your next step.
There's a lot of the braggers on the team say, hey, another push-up and we probably would
You know, for me, probably a lot of push-ups. They wouldn't have done anything. But, you know, I think that from what I've seen and what I've heard, the Parks can play relatively fair, and I think that's good for everybody because, you know, as I mentioned before, you know, I think everybody's concentrating this on a you know, it's going to be a big advantage for the hitters, but I think, you know, for the pitchers that are outfielders going to be able to cover more ground. There's less square footage out there, so I think that some of these balls that fall in, you know, outfielders might be able to get it.
Jose's not going to be there with you. You know, are you going to miss him? What did Jose bring to the game?
I don't think Jose signed it. You know, if you read all the rumors that are going around, you know, he's going to sign with 4 or 5 different teams. I'm going to get traded to 4 or 5 different teams, and you know, there's only one of me and only one of him, so they're going, you know, it is what it is. It's rumors. Until I see something, you know, officially signed, or there's a, you know, press release saying that Jose's agreed to a deal, then, and obviously the hope is that we get him back.
Good luck next year.
David, when Ike was talking about...
Wait, let's do this. This is our blog review, so we're going to do everything in
Jump the gun.
here.
Sorry, Shannon.
So, I don't know, I think you met everybody, but that's Ed, that's Shannon, that's Steve, and that's Greg.
Now, Ike was talking about when you hit a line drive, the height of those balls that you knew wasn't going out, but now hopefully cutting them in half, those line drives are going to become home runs. Now, have you gone out there? I guess you've looked at it. What do you think so far now with the walls being cut down in half?
Well, I mean, I think that, you know, all you can ask for is that, you know, a park play, you know, relatively fair. And I think that, you know, they've accomplished that. You know, we have some very smart people, you know, making these decisions. And from what I've seen, the numbers that they've crunched, the mathematical equations that they've kind of plugged in and figured this out, I think that it's going to play relatively fair. The only way to tell, I guess, is go out there and play. But, you know, I guess you ask a hitter if they're in favor of making the park more hitter-friendly, and the obvious answer is of course.
Well, when you first came, remember when they were building the stadium, you took batting practice in here before it was open. What did you think when you took the batting practice? Then when the season started, you started hitting, you said,
well, there was no home plate or anything at the time we took batting practice. So, you know, we might have been taking batting practice from second base, as far as I know. So,
it's an idea.
Yeah, but, you know, and it's so tough. You come in here, you take 10 swings when the stadium first or hadn't even opened yet. You can't tell how the park's going to play. You know, and then I think when it opened, you know, I think that you know, we started realizing that you know, it was going to play big, and you know, and we had to, you know, kind of make that adjustment. But you know, now it seems like it's going to play, like I said, relatively fair, and yeah, I think a lot is getting, you know, a lot of people saying that it's going to help the hitters, but you know, I really think that it's going to help, you know, our pitchers a little bit too, because you know, a lot of those balls that are falling now, the square footage is less, so our guys are going to be able to track some of that stuff down. So, you know, it's I guess kind of a good way to look at it, and you know, most of the time, if a guy gives up a home run, he's going to give up a home run.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, if a guy hits the ball good, you know, the majority of the time is going to go out. So
as long as they're solo shots.
Yeah, that's fine. They can have, you know, 3 solo home runs a game, and hopefully we'll win that.
You hit a grand slam, the game's over. It's
Exactly.
all good.
We'll trade that.
You've been asked about Jose to death, so I'm not going to do that. But what about Ruben Tejada? Just in general, as a teammate, as a shortstop or second baseman, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think it's unfair to Ruben to try to compare the two, because you know, I think Ruben can be a very, very good, you know, everyday player. But you know, Jose Reyes obviously is one of a kind. I you know, there's just no other way, you know, to put it. But you know, with that being said, if you know, Jose decides to go elsewhere, you know, I'm very confident that you're going to be able to get the job done.
Now, I overheard you talking before, David, that you haven't ruled anything out yet with Jose. You know, he might be alongside you next season. So what do you think of your team's chances if that's the case? You know, you see the Marlins doing all these things, very competitive division.
You would think that, I guess, both sides would at least, before Jose makes a decision, at least Jose being here as long as he's been, they would at least get together and have one final talk before he makes a decision. And I would hope that's what happens. I guess, you have to have kind of a plan A and a plan B moving forward. If you believe what you read and what's being reported, Jose is being, I know that he's being heavily courted, that a lot of teams would like, what he brings to the table. Hopefully that's us, but if it's not, whatever team signs him is getting a heck of a player and a guy that brings a ton of energy to the game. But, he's kind of a one-of-a-kind, player, and if he decides to go elsewhere, it's going to be difficult to replace him, but, that's what it's all about, is kind of rising up to that challenge.
David,
All right, well,
two quick questions.
There's only one thing.
Well, let's combine. Did Jose won the batting crown? Did he say next year it's your turn?
I guess the short answer is no. Obviously we've been, we're celebrating the 50th year. To have one batting crown winner, that shows you how tough it is.
A couple of years ago, you participated in the All-Star Games, Home Run Derby. After that point, your production had fallen down considerably. If you're invited again to participate in Home Run Derby, would you do it? What are you going to say about that?
Guys, do you have any other
Yes,
questions?
if it was, probably the only way that I would do it, if it was here. I think I would enjoy doing that. But the Home Run Derby when I participated in was in 2006. So, maybe I didn't hit as many home runs in the second half, but, as long as my production's up, that's all that matters to me. The home runs, hopefully they come. If not, no big deal. But if I'm driving runs and I'm scoring runs, that's what I want to do.
Hey, you like the unis?